Hi, Bill Denny for RV Super Center. You know, these young athletes, their family and friends are a very important part of our lives. We encourage you to get out and support our young people in their participation in their school. It's a team effort, and that's why RV Super Center is proud to sponsor our local high school sports. If you're looking for an RV, remember the team at RV Super Center. Simply take Highway 60 to Mesa Drive and look for the RVs.
Friday Night Fever. Brought to you by RV Super Center.
Happy Halloween! We're the cheerleaders from Cactus High School. Get ready! Friday Night Fever starts now!
All right, my thanks to the cheerleaders of Cactus High School for getting this edition of Friday Night Fever on Halloween weekend underway. Hi, everybody. Mark Lewis back after a week off, and I'm raring to go with tonight's highlights, so let's get to it, shall we? Starting with 5A. Desert Vista still on top in our Super 12 poll, but our featured game tonight is defending 5A champion Mountain View at home against arch rival and 6th-ranked Mesa. Bruce Cooper has the details on tonight's game. Coop?
Mark, if you like a good defensive, smash-mouth, hard-hitting football game, oh, this was the place to be. Think I'm kidding? Check this out. Mountain View's Jared Fritz says hello to Mesa's D. Taylor. Oh, you know that had to hurt. Taylor says, okay, you want to play me like that? How you like me now, Mr. Mark Riggs? You know, we can bring it too. It was that kind of spirited play by both teams, neither side able to generate much offense because of the stingy play of the defenses. In fact, the game was tied at 3 midway through the fourth quarter before Byron Hendershot, who would record his 7th 100-yard rushing game of the season, crashed in from a yard out, giving the Toros a 10-3 lead. And that was, plenty enough for Mountain View and its defense. The Toros extend their winning streak to 36 in a row. Final score, Mountain View 10, Mesa High 3. Bruce Cooper, Friday Night Fever.
All right, Coop, thanks a lot. Our Team of the Week, Horizon, traveling the short distance to Paradise Valley High to take on the Trojans tonight. And Francis Turner of the Trojans gets them on the board first. 7-zip Trojans who controlled the ball throughout the first quarter. The Horizon comes back right before half. Jeff Crone to Steve Gubernick. Touchdown. Ties it at 7. And the Huskies go on to win a hard-fought victory over Paradise Valley. The final was 13-7. Now we go to the west side where Maryvale was hosting the Lions of Alhambra. Picked this one up early on. This is James Smith making a nifty run into the end zone for the Lions to put them up 7-6 in the last score we had late in the fourth quarter. That was the same score, Alhambra 7, Maryvale 6. At Dobson visiting Gilbert, hoping for a big win and some help to keep their swim playoff hopes alive. 12-yard touchdown for Grayson Alcantar. He gets into the end zone, makes it 21-zip, but Dobson comes back. Brian Umlauf, 8-yard touchdown here, makes it 21-20, and Dobson goes on to win it by a final of 34-27. Other 5A scores, top-ranked Desert Vista keeps rolling, 28-zip. Corona over Marcos, 31-13. Red Mountain beats Westwood, 24-21. Trevor, 40-13 over Camelback. Brophy blanks Ironwood. Highland, 14. Cibola, 7. It was Central over North, 12-zip. Kingman down in Goldwater, 35-7. Shadow over North Canyon, 26-17. And Westview down Deer Valley, 32-13. Now to 4A football, still numero uno in our Super 12 poll, the Cactus Cobras. Tonight, Cactus facing one of their rivals in the West Valley, the Centennial Coyotes, and this was no contest. Let's go to Cactus High School. I'll tell you what, Larry Feckenheimer has a high-powered offense, and thanks in large part to quarterback Jonathan Stoner. Up top, nice grab by Matt Allen to set up the touchdown by Jeremy Nichols. Plenty more where this came from. Cactus 75, Centennial 26. At Chaparral tonight, the Firebirds trying to end Tempe's modest 5-game winning streak. Pick up the scoring early on. Tempe was rocking. Mike Faust going to the air. Willie Hayes touchdown. 8-yard connection, 7-zip visitor. But then the interception of Faust by Zach Bees. He recorded 41-28. Greenway goes on to win it and qualify for the playoffs to win 56-28 is your final. Other 4A scores, Apollo routing Lake Havasu. Shaft big over Arcadia. Sinagua, no problem with Mingus. Moon Valley blanks Independence. Flagstaff over Coconino. Coronado edging Saguaro. Sunny Slope over Glendale. Sunrise beats Bradshaw Mountain, and AJ a loser to Tempe 29-6. Now let's talk 5A football and check out this week's Super 12 poll. Desert Vista still #1, followed by Mountain View, Horizon, Corona, and Trevor Brown. But our featured game in 5A tonight, the game of the night, it's the battle of the Catholic high schools. Brophy and St. Mary's at Phoenix College. How about the defense of St. Mary's? Chad Howell sacking Carson Bradley, stopping them all evening long. This is Thomas Byer on the offensive side of the ball for Pat Farrell's Knights. And they go on to win it by a final of 21-7 over Brophy. Now let's show you Highland and Mesa, where they had a power outage, but certainly not a power outage for Mesa quarterback Nathan Skinner after a Highland turnover. He scores for Coach McCain's Jackrabbits lead at 7-0. Then another turnover results in Nathan Skinner to Jeff McCain, the coach's son. 22-yard touchdown, 14-zip Mesa. They are celebrating. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's Junior Taylor blocking the punt, and he recovers the ball as well for the touchdown. Jackrabbits go on to beat visiting Highland 24-10. Red Mountain and Dobson, king and queen on hand watching tonight's festivities, and this was all Bristol Olamua. From Alan Grantham, the talented quarterback, Olamua, 5 touchdown receptions tonight. This guy is highly coveted by a lot of Division 1A teams, and his quarterback's not bad either. Grantham to Olamua again. 65-yard hookup. Red Mountain whipping our team of the week, Dobson 49-19. Speaking of whipping, how about Desert Vista over Casa Grande 75-12? Mountain View wins 45-zip, their 37th in a row. DJ Nye, an 81-yard touchdown. It was Horizon over Shadow Mountain. They remain unbeaten. Mountain Point a winner, as was Mountain Ridge. Marcos beats Chandler. Ironwood edges Deer Valley. And it was Kingman over Westview. Camelback beats North.
You're watching Friday Night Fever. Listen to KNIX weeknights to win a Friday Night Fever party for your high school from 12 News and KNIX.
Now it's time for our RV Supercenter Play of the Week. We go back to the Greenway game, and it's none other than quarterback Justin Eccles, the talented wide receiver Jimmy Connor. He breaks the state record. He's got 22 touchdown catches, and this is our Play of the Week. Well, that'll do it for this week's show. For producer Jody Isaac and the rest of our Friday Night Fever staff, I'm Mark Lewis. We leave you with the Mesa High School Marching Band. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Station, this is 12 News.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
And with those historic words, 77-year-old John Glenn once again blasted off into space.
Millions of people watched on television and from the ground as the shuttle Discovery thundered John Glenn and 6 crewmates into the sky. Mark Strauss enjoyed this live from the Kennedy Space Center.
Good evening, everyone. Senator astronaut John Glenn.
Be there when Shane's schoolteacher Mary Taylor Turno's schoolboy lover meets his
In person or on television, but especially for John Glenn.
1989.
Great scene.
He suited up
It's a little bit of history here,
to launch his life stream
and I'd say he's pretty happy.
and would have crawled for this chance. John Glenn did crawl today into the shuttle's middeck.
Just bounced right in there, and he's up in his seat.
1 million spectators celebrated his private thrill, including President and Mrs. Clinton. And then the familiar words, echoing across generations. From Scott Carpenter, Glenn's Mercury backup.
And to say once again, Godspeed, John Glenn.
All systems have been reported go for launch of Discovery.
The magical moment.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
Discovery streaked skyward toward its orbit of history.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery. Discovery, Houston, go at throttle up.
Roger, go ahead, throttle up.
For nearly the next 9 days, the world will look up to marvel at possibility. And one aging American legend will again live a child's fantasy of spaceflight. Afterward, President Clinton thanked NASA workers.
That America is very, very proud of you today. Thank you, and God bless you.
Years from now, people will remember where they watched and what they felt during this uniquely all-American moment. Back live now at the Kennedy Space Center, we can see they've been up in flight now for 3 hours and 43 minutes, it looks like. One minor problem to report today during liftoff. A panel fell off one of the drag chute doors, which could, in theory, affect the return of the shuttle, but at this point, NASA's troubleshooting it and doesn't think it's going to be an issue. Overall, they say that Discovery is a very healthy spacecraft. And so NASA, at this point, seems just as thrilled with today's launch as everyone who was lucky enough to watch it. That's the latest here at the Kennedy Space Center. I'm Mark Strawson reporting live. Let's go back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Well, here's a look at some of NASA's milestones in space. In May of 1961, Alan Shepard became the first American in space. John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth in 1962. In July of 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. And today, John Glenn again made history, becoming the oldest man in space at the age of 77. Just 2 years ago, Story Musgrave held that title when he blasted into space at the age of 61. And coming up on 12 News First at 4, we'll take a look back at history and show you how things have changed since John Glenn's first launch into space. Plus, we'll show you how your car can get the same kind of fine-tuning the shuttle gets from a former NASA mechanic.
And with a 77-year-old senator making a trip into space, it's not out of the question to think you and I may someday be able to travel in space, which got us wondering.
Would you like to take a shuttle into space if you could? We've made that our 12 Listens question of the day. Would you travel into space if you had the chance? If you would, tell us why. Just call us at 260-1212, or you can email us at 12listens@12news.com. We'll read your email and we'll play back your calls a little bit later.
Well, the Attorney General called it the old bait and switch.
And in this case, he says it's attorneys who are responsible.
They set up a free office visit and offered to accept my case with no money down and monthly payments. Called and gave top-notch service.
You may recognize this commercial for Phillips & Associates. The Attorney General says the commercials are misleading and he wants them fixed. And now the lawyers who run those ads agree. They will change them. Larry Meeks talked to a client who feels he was misled by those ads.
And they offered to accept my case for no money down and
It's his own commercial, but every time Frank Kelly hears it, he gets mad.
And after I did it, I had a really sour taste in my mouth. I mean,
That's because he says he only did it to reduce his bill at the law firm. And the service he got was far from no money down.
But he said, bring lots of checks. That was his exact words. Bring lots of checks.
The Attorney General says the firm's practice is the exact opposite of the ads, that they try to get as much money as possible on the initial visit, even maxing out client credit cards.
In some cases, we allege that they actually made calls at the initial visit to credit card companies to get this person an extension or a raising of their credit limit so that they could then max it out for the law firm.
It cost Frank $3,600, and he ended up representing himself in court for his DUI. He's still paying.
Also, as part of the agreement, Phillips & Associates agrees to pay $200,000 to groups that do legal work for the poor. But in a statement sent to our newsroom today, the firm denies any wrongdoing. The fact says if the state had demanded money for itself rather than suggesting donations, there would have been no settlement because of our strong belief that we have done nothing wrong. They also say the Attorney General's action is based on ads that were produced years ago and that are no longer used. None of the Phillips & Associates' current ads contain wording challenged by the Attorney General's office. And that applies to television ads, but if you take a look at the yellow pages, you flip through to a few Phillips & Associates ads, and you can see $0 down on this page, $0 down on this page, another $0 down, and those are all Phillips & Associates ads that are still out there, so this continues to be an issue. Rick and Dia.
Blair, did they comment about those ads?
Well, they didn't say a lot about these particular ads, but the Attorney General wanted the ads changed in print and on television. As you can see, there's a long time between reproducing the ads that appear on the yellow pages, so it may be a while that they're still dealing with these ads that are out there and still dealing with this issue.
All right, thanks a lot.
Sure thing.